today I'm gonna show you how you can do your brows for the week without having to use, get your brows permanently done, like with a microblade. Can you be quiet? Or putting on brow pomade or pencil every day. So basically I use this. This is one of my favorite, oh my God, hold on. Holy fuck. So if you have lighter brows or you have sparse brows, this is perfect. I use self-tanner on my brows. What I do is I just create a line like I would an outline with eyebrow pencil. I don't like this shade, that's why I'm going to use it, because as you know, the better ones, the micro pencils that I do like these, they get used up pretty fast. So I just use one that I don't like, a cheapo. I mean, you can use anything. You could use a lip liner. You don't have to use anything at all. Sometimes I'll just straight up do it, but this is easier for you. Probably if it's your first try. These are just the cheapo ones. Brow and Eye Makers CoverGirl. Blah. It comes with like 2 in a package. This is lighter than my eyebrow. So I'll have kind of a line to follow. I will put this in it. I suggest a mousse, and I suggest one that shows up dark already so you can see what you're doing. This is the best way. Rubbing alcohol is the best way to get this off your hands in places you don't want it. I suggest to having Q-tips and paper towels ready, which I do. This is this is the little brush that I use. You can use whatever brush you want. So as you can see, I have very blonde brows. And they're not super thick, so the longer you leave it on, the darker it gets. After 1 hour, it's pretty dark, and 3 hours is the darkest. So I will show you. I have this clean spoolie. I'm just going to kind of brush up my natural brow. And I have a little cup to anything really, just something that I don't mind getting stained. This is what I have put the tanning in before. It turns greenish after it oxidizes because it cancels out the orange that you don't want. So I suggest mousse instead of a gel because this is going to be easier to control. Pump a little in here. If you do happen to get any on your hands, rubbing alcohol is your friend. If you don't have rubbing alcohol, you can use nail polish remover or rub some salt with lemon. Sometimes vinegar works, anything that's like acidic or kind of harsher. I'm actually going to use a old kind of cheapo eyebrow pencil to stencil out the look I want, because like I said, this tanning lasts like a week. So if you don't exfoliate, it'll last about a week. Because of that, I don't want to really make any mistakes. So I'm going to look in the mirror instead of here as I did this, because as you guys know, I'm not a professional. Basically, just fill in your brows. I'll try to back up how you normally would, but just try to do the outline. This will still work if you do the whole thing and do it on top, but this does have like a waxy base, so you want to make sure that the tanning really gets into your pores. So you're gonna kind of want to outline the brows instead. So I always do the line under each brow first, as you can see. Then I start at the arch, and I try to make it a little bit more severe, because my arches are pretty weak. Gets pretty blonde up here. There are baby hairs, but they're not as thick as I would like. So that is what I've done. This is where it can get tricky, because the center is where things can start to look fake if they're too boxy. So you want it to be kind of wispy there. That is why I kind of leave that open. So I'll have this guideline with the tanner, and it'll look like this for a week, but it'll be filled in. And this will be kind of skin colored, and I can just go in with one of the more expensive micro pencils and do like this before I leave the house. You can choose to get in here. I'm not going to. But I will go a little bit closer because look how far away my eyebrows are right now. All my girls with red and blonde hair know the struggle of wanting the Armenian brow, pretty much. Okay, now this, here's my mousse. And now I'm just gonna fill in my outline. So like I said, this is a mousse. You're not just really wanting it to get only on the hairs, because the thing that you want this to stick to is your skin. So really try to pack it in there. This stuff does tend to spread, so try not to get it outside of the line. Ooh. I made a little mistake there, just used my finger at the end. I'm probably gonna go around this with the rubbing alcohol, just to make sure that none of those mistakes that I've wiped off are gonna oxidize later and turn into a little tan thumbprint or something. So this is a more highly arched, thick brow that I'm doing right now. When you do this, it's gonna be very dark, and I do it more exaggerated, like with how high the arch is, because even after one face wash, this is not gonna be this dark. It's going to be a lot less dark. It's going to be kind of just a light tint, actually. It's gonna be even lighter than the taupe pencil when I wash my face. So it would be like if this color was filled in, that's how it will look. I'll show you guys tomorrow how that comes out looking. Let me do this one. And this is a nice alternative to not having to get microblading done, just kind of getting up and going. Also, a lot of people like to do this who go to the beach and go to the pools, but they don't have, you know, you're gonna be swimming maybe, and you don't have any freaking real eyebrows, or you do have eyebrows, like as you see I have eyebrows, but they're super light. You want super dark. So you can do that. So those are my two arches. Now all I have to do is join my arch with the front. Pretty good outline. I do it little by little on each eye, as I showed in my last video when I did my brows, because it gives more of a even appearance if you do a little here, a little here, a little here, a little here, rather than doing one whole one and one whole one. The odds are they're not going to be symmetrical. Okay, now I'm going towards the center more. Pretty good. Now I'm gonna go in with, and you know what I like to do? I like to dilute this with water, because this is, rubbing alcohol is not good for your skin. Let's be real. It's gonna dry it out real quick. I'm too lazy to get up and mix this with water, but you should. Mine is 91% rubbing alcohol, which is even higher than normal, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna do it. So if my skin starts to turn red, it's because I have super sensitive skin and I'm using rubbing alcohol. But see, that was gonna be a mistake that would have shown up. So just kind of go, You can even use makeup remover for this, actually. Unless you mess up a lot, then the only thing that's gonna take it off is really a alcohol base. Thick brow. Oh, my skin is already starting to get so red, look. So mix with water. I would dilute this. So here is the finished product. You can leave this on for 1 hour. What is that? Let's try that again. So here's the finished product. You can leave this on for an hour. I would leave this on for overnight or as long as you can until you wash it off so that it really gets into the skin. No matter what kind of tanner it is, the longer you leave it on, the better. When I tan my body, I put baby powder all over my whole body, and it will make it so it doesn't streak and get all over your sheets. So I'll show you my brows tomorrow after they're washed, and you will see this little hack. So I wanted to show you guys one more thing besides the brow self tanner trick. You can also use self tanner. You can also have it fall on your leg. No, you can also use self tanner as a lip colorer. Always start on the inside with lip stuff. People always start on the outside. Get the easiest part first, okay? Now, I do an X here all the time. I could have lined these and made it easier for myself, but I'm kind of an asshole, so didn't do that. Like I said, this gets considerably lighter, especially on the lips, because your lips are gonna be getting wet often. Pretty even. So, like I said, this will turn into just kind of like a taupe. So you'll see tomorrow how this looks. The only thing that I don't recommend using the self tanner on is as an it would be the best if you could also use it like on your eyelashes or a liner, so you could really be no makeup all week and just have this tanner on. That would really make your routine a lot easier and more natural. But I don't know if you should put this on your eyes ever, and I don't. I tried an eyelash tint one time. As you can see, I have no mascara on, look how blonde and thin my eyelashes are. So I did try an eyelash tint one time, and that did not work for me. So I don't really have a fix for that, but I will show you this tomorrow.